Hi, Elena.
Hi, Nubs.
Oh,
Oh, I call you Nubs. Does anyone know that?
all right. Now we have to tell them. We got to tell everybody the nickname that made me self-conscious for a lot of my adult life. A
No.
little bit. I'm over it now, but when I was younger, it did.
Oh, that's terrible.
I
When
know.
we were in college, we used to order Papa John's pizza breadsticks at, you know, in the
Midnight.
evenings,
Yeah. This is
late
where it
night.
came from?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, okay.
What do
Keep
you
going.
think?
No, you
And
tell the
then those
story.
we would eat those bread nubs. And
They're
then one,
breadsticks.
the breadsticks, yeah,
Yeah.
we called them bread nubs, and then your hands, your fingers resembled the red nose. They do not.
Yeah,
Now that
they
I'm
do.
looking
I
at
have
them.
short, nubby fingers, and I was also super self-conscious about my weight. And so I was like, but then the funny thing is, okay, so whatever, I got over it. But here's the progression that all of our listeners really need to hear. It
Right.
it went from calling me Nubs
Uh-huh.
to Nabrina to I think Princess Nabrina.
And now Nubby. I just
And
call you
now
Nubby.
Or
You're
Nubby,
you're
yeah.
my phone is Nubby. And my kids call you Nubby.
It's not good.
I'm sorry. Oh
It's
God.
okay. But like it's not feminine. Oh, our
All right.
amazing aunt. She's like a real estate agent and actress in New York City. She lives in Brooklyn. What's her name? Nubby.
Beautiful voice. We call her Nubby.
Oh, okay, we're laughing. So let's talk about I'm gonna let you lead introducing this episode. What's it called?
It's called PMO and pivot. And PMO is what the kids say instead of piss me off.
Yeah.
This episode is about the things that piss us off quite frequently on a regular basis. These are like everyday things that occur that are not big deals, but they can really like send me into orbit.
Yeah.
Okay. And how we pivot out of that energy so that we're not like walking around all day hating everyone who's around us.
Yeah. And it's funny because some days it doesn't bother me, but when
Right.
these things, right? But when they do,
Oh my
it's
God.
like my nostrils are permaflared. And yeah. So you start with one. I've got a lot.
Okay. My number one piss me off thing is when people don't return their carts to the carousel or to the store. Is that what it's called, a carousel?
Like in the parking lot thingy.
Oh my gosh. And the worst offender ever, the worst parking lot for stray carts is Home Goods and TJ Maxx. And here's the other part, it's Home Goods and TJ Maxx's fault because there's no cart returns in the parking lot. You have to go all the way back to the store. So when you drive up to that madhouse, there are carts. There are as many carts as cars in the parking lot. Like I will make my kids gather two or three and like take them
Bring it
back
back.
because I cannot stand the clutter. And it damages people's cars. And it reinforces this narrative that I don't want to believe about people, which is they're lazy or they're not participating fully in this idea of community or leaving something better than they found it, or at least
Or
as
at
good
least the
as they
same.
found it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so the pivot for me, you can tell how pissed off this gets me.
Pivot.
The the pivot is realizing that, okay, all the scenarios, I try to imagine all the scenarios in which I could not return my cart properly. And okay, if I was in chronic pain or I had a bathroom emergency or when my kids were younger and I was like outnumbered by toddlers who were on the verge of a tantrum. So
Uh-huh.
I can imagine scenarios, but I drove past a woman the other day who was not, she was older, and she and her husband were loading their groceries into the car, perfectly appeared able.
Uh-huh.
And then she took her grocery cart. She was not parked in the handicap spots. She was parked adjacent to them. And she took it and she put it in front of the handicap sign. And I was in my car driving past and I kept thinking like, so you're making it worse for people who actually need more space
Right.
to function in this parking lot. And it was all I could do not to like whip it around and confront her. I didn't
Mm.
pivot well from that one, as you can see.
Well, let us be clear. Most of these things are hard to pivot from
Yes.
because most of these things are like, what is wrong with you?
Right. Who parented you?
Exactly. Which leads me to my first one.
Please.
Um, who parented you if you do not know that you go up a staircase on the right and you come down on the right? This is my daily play in New York City. I was
Yes.
coming up the subway today in Brooklyn somewhere, and this girl, she was probably in her 20s, but I'm calling her a girl because clearly she hasn't been fully parented yet, had like a couple bags over her shoulder, like she had done a couple grocery shoppings or whatever. And so it was taking up room. She was going up the middle of the staircase and people were trying to come down and she kept getting huffy and puffy.
Oh
I
my
want to be
gosh.
like, girl, slow down and stay to the right.
Right.
Same thing on the sidewalk. If you're walking towards somebody, go to the right. It's like driving.
Yes. It is. It's
Anyway,
like rules of the road.
it's rules of the road. Also, just get off your fucking phone for a second. Anyway,
We're hot tonight.
we're hot. The pivot I could probably give this ridiculous woman is that she did have a lot on her shoulders and maybe she had to pee. I always
Maybe.
have to pee in New York. Um,
Yeah.
or also maybe she was just like, running really late and this, that, I understand those feelings. You're like, everyone's
Yeah.
walking so slow. I have to get there. So you just like run over people. I've
Yeah.
I've
Sometimes
done
when
it.
you have the most stuff, you
Yeah.
feel like you have
Yeah.
what is it? Like the
The priority of the right away.
priority.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you have the rule of the road. If you
Yeah.
have the most stuff. Like I used to feel like that when I would be like running with a jogging stroller and there would be a person running towards me on a sidewalk
Uh-huh.
and they would get like mad at me for not moving over. I was
Uh-huh.
I had a stroller. I have more stuff. And
Right.
I would still not like, I mean, I wouldn't take up more than my fair share of space. But like, if I see someone coming towards me with dogs, walking dogs, and I'm running, I get off the sidewalk to like
Yeah. Yeah.
allow for that. This
Yeah.
this goes into my next one, which is just yeah, just spatial awareness. Like
Oh,
people not when people will stand there and get huffy with you instead of saying something if you don't know they're behind you,
yeah.
that happens in grocery stores.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sorry. I didn't know you were there, just seething. I felt your seething energy from behind me and turned around.
Um, it's like the spatial, I think the spatial awareness might take us the rest of the episode. On the subway, when you get on the subway train, right? You get on, there's like usually you walk in and there's like a pole and then there's the seats, benches are to the side. People like long time New Yorkers do this, and I'm like, what? They just all congregate right there by that pole, and then there's plenty of space to stand along the amount of times in the 20, almost 25 years I've lived here where I say like, get in the train. Like I yell it because there's still people trying to get on the train.
Yeah, and they can't get past
No, we're
because
trying.
God forbid they say something. You're the
Right.
brave one that's like, guys,
Yeah.
hello, we all know
And
how
you
this is done.
and you can't say excuse me because everyone is listening to something.
Oh, you're right.
No one can hear you on the train. Yeah.
Oh.
So that drives me nuts. I don't have a pivot. That's just like you're not paying attention.
Well, that's just like people living in New York and coping the best way they can, being overstimulated 24/7.
Well, see, there's a good pivot. Yeah, you've got one. Um,
I got to pivot for that.
yeah, you got to pivot for that. I I also have a very relevant one because literally as we're recording, I have my laundry in the dryer. And this is, I think, specific to this building I'm currently living in because it was not my last
Mhm.
building. Every time, every time I do my laundry, no one has cleaned out the lint in the dryer before I get there. I'm
That
like,
place is gonna burn down.
And it's so gross also.
Yeah,
Like
it's disgusting to have to remove
disgusting. Like
someone else's lint.
also, did anyone raise you?
Right.
That's what I don't get.
Well, it's the um acting like a shared space is a single space. Is a
Yeah,
private space. That's
right.
I resent that completely. Acting like a shared space is your own personal space and not being considerate.
I have to say my pivot in those moments is usually just gratitude that the dryer is empty and available.
Okay,
Because
that's a
there are
good
times you
pivot.
go down there and like you have to wait and come back up and come back down, so it's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
fine. At least it's here. Fine. That's my pivot.
right. And even if it wasn't, you get more steps.
Yeah. On the elevator. Um,
Oh, on the elevator.
I just
One,
marked.
two, three,
Yeah.
button.
Um, for those of you listening, when we release this episode, go to the Instagram post and tell us
Yeah.
your PMOs.
And your pivots if you have them.
Yeah, and your pivots, because I think mine are few and far between today. Um,
I try to, I have, when I'm driving and people are driving crazy,
mhm.
I try to make up a story about why they're doing that. Like maybe they have a job or if they're late, someone's going to be really rude to them
Yeah,
or maybe they had a really tough morning getting out the door and I don't know. I try to make up the most compassionate version of what might make someone act like that and also acknowledging that I have definitely acted like this
totally.
and been like, get out of my way. I have, like the stakes are higher for me
Yeah.
in this moment. But
When I see someone running for the
mhm.
subway, like
Mhm.
down, I'm like, if I'm not, I get out of their way
Me
because
too.
I know that feeling.
Same as the airport.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If I see someone, I'm like, okay, I'm good. You go. Like, I'm not gonna
Yes.
huff and puff because you're trying to run. Like, someone's, in labor somewhere. Go.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was talking about this to Jim this morning. We were driving somewhere and he was like, "Yeah, I always imagine if like someone they love is they have to get to them,
yeah,
And I have definitely done that, like getting to school or daycare and knowing I was late and feeling really,
yeah,
you know, bad about myself.
yeah. It feels good to have vented about this though.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I
It's
mean,
just
I
a
think it's
little
fun. I think people relate, these things that you're just like, oh my God. But then inevitably, if you've got a good sense of humor, you can get past it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was making up stories today. I posted on Instagram today about my groceries being bagged by in drunken disorderly fashion and that the story I made up is just that like I don't even know the story I made up, but I did try to appreciate the fact that the person who checked me out and he has checked my groceries out before, he has some sort of OCD that is familiar to me in my
Uh-huh.
family and comforting because it's familiar, I guess. And
Yeah, yeah,
I find him delightful. The guy bagging my groceries was driving me insane because it was just like a booby trap. Like every
yeah.
bag was booby trapped and none of it made sense. Like I didn't know how I was going to get these groceries home. But at the end of it, he was putting the bags, these crazy bags into the cart.
Cart. Yeah.
And the guy that checked me out was like doing all his like routines that he does
Oh, uh-huh.
with his little badge and
Okay.
all
Yeah.
the things that he does and I get it and he said thanks buddy to the guy who was bagging for him and he's like
Yeah.
no problem man and I was like okay
Yeah.
but
I'll
I
survive.
can be okay with
Yeah.
my crazy bagged groceries.
It did make for comedic Instagram stories though.
Well, I mean I had to share it because I was
Yeah.
like am I crazy or is this crazy and it's probably both.
Probably both. Yeah.
That's the pivot.
Um, what do you want to influence me on this episode, Elena?
I want to influence you on these tiny vases.
Those are
And this isn't
cute.
like a specific brand of tiny vases. These are the tiny vases that Stella bought me for Christmas, but
Oh.
I I like fresh flowers and
Uh-huh.
you can find like
How many
tiny
do
little
you
fresh
have?
like I know, right? Like the tiniest little bunch of flowers, like the least expensive money. But if you put one stem in each of these little each little vase.
Yeah,
It's the most delightful thing to just walk into a room and have like a colorful vase and a tiny little bloom.
I love
It
that.
makes me feel better.
Yeah. I saw this Instagram thing today where this guy's walking down the street with a bouquet of flowers and he's telling a story about how somebody said, "Oh my gosh, who's the lucky lady?"
Oh,
And
that's presumptive.
yeah, and he's like, I stopped and I smiled and I looked at the person. I said, "These are for me."
Aw,
Yeah,
good.
get to do
Yeah,
that for yourself.
yeah.
I am going to piggyback on a season one influence me that you did
What?
because you influence not only our listeners, but you actually influence me.
Merit.
Merit Cosmetics. I am on the train, everybody. Wait, does it open on both ends? No.
No,
Um,
it's it
yeah,
twists up.
I see. This is the concealer stick or whatever they call it, and it's fantastic. I got the starter kit and I get the appeal. I came home after a long day and I was like, I don't really think I need to touch anything up. Um, and I even sent Elena a selfie the other day and I was like, I
And it
think
was
it's
so good.
working. Yeah,
Your face looked so great, and I couldn't see the makeup, which is
yeah.
the point, which is
Which
what
is the
we
point.
agreed was the
Yeah,
point. It just
yeah,
like brightened up all your features, and that concealer stick, I thought it was going to be like too thick for me, but did you get the brush with it too?
yeah.
The brush is fantastic and it evens out all your skin tone. I don't even wear makeup that often, but when I do, that is my preference.
And the thing about the brush is the makeup doesn't stay on it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like you use it for the concealer and then the blush and the bronzer stuff. But the
Yeah.
next day you just go back to the concealer. It doesn't turn it brown or red or whatever. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's weird.
Anyway, that's this episode, everybody.
Yeah. And if you needed that, please share this with someone else who might have needed it too. Embrace the
Signing
pivot.
pivot and sending love from Nabrina. Princess Nabrina of Brooklyn. All right, bye.
Bye.